Alright, Shalom, more praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushua, Ba'Hashem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, salutations to all the brothers and a few sisters out there onto the Israelite foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. Quick show through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushua, long you brothers be edified. I was trying to figure out a show to do or when any come to me until now. It says Congress seek to spend $500 million of taxpayers' money on Ukraine. And why that's so significant, here it is at home, in the homeland, so to speak, in America, where inflation is at an all-time high, famine is around the corner, crime is at an all-time high, plagues, pestilence, and yet their main concern is a foreign entrance, all right? And that shows you that this place is not what people deemed it to be or they believe to be. This place is a private corporation of the international bankers. All right. And what this means right here for the taxpayers, which is your everyday people, you're gonna have to fund this bill. This is the same thing that's happened in Rome is happening here in America. All right, because America is that Roman Empire. It's everything under the sun because they're doing the same thing what Rome did. Rome will get into a whole bunch of different wars, and it did not benefit the people. The only thing that benefits is only the super rich. Okay, so Democrats, the fast track bill give more military aid and sanctioning Russia in case of a significant escalation. U.S. House of Representatives is rushing a bill that would impose a series of sanctions on Russia and give Ukraine $500 million in military aid. They have no business aiding anything of Ukraine. Okay, here it is. In the Western Hemisphere, you got poor countries like Haiti, Venezuela. All right, they're not aiding them. Chile, Argentina. You have a whole bunch of people that's coming from, Guatemala. Okay, Mexico. You got people that's coming up, and they're in bad shape, but yet they want to spend $500 million in military aid to Ukraine. What interest does they have? And this is all the buildup of a war which America at the end is going to lose dramatically. And that's why, you know what, I'm going to put that video of the Russians arm wrestling a bear, and here in America you have people just playing video games and lollygagging and all sorts of madness. But the Russians, which is another sect of Esau, Edom, all right, these are rough men. These are warriors, man. Okay? And here it is, they trying to give money to bring instability in that same area. And that's the same track record they have done throughout all history. And that track record is to overthrow governments, right? Bring chaos within a region that would seem to be peaceful, okay? And that's why, I believe China had made, what's this guy's name? George Soros, the #1 terrorist in the world, all right? And this is the exact same thing. And now, but this time, America is trying to make the American people fund that bill, which the American people can't fund that bill because the economy is shut. People are losing their jobs left and right. A lot of people lost their jobs, and they still harping. Now they want to tax every single person and their mama. They want to know how much you have in your account and so forth. So we living in some oppressive times. It says skipping the committee markup process entirely The Interception reported on Tuesday, citing source in Congress. Speaker Nancy Pelosi, the Democrat California, reportedly told members in the caucus call that she wants to the Defending Ukraine Sovereignty Act of 2022 up for a floor. Oh, I said up for a floor vote as soon as next week. The bill was introduced in the House Foreign Affairs Committee last week by its chair, Gregory Meeks, Democrat. It says and co-sponsored by 13 other Democrats. So when it comes to war, these Democrats are all for it. See, when everybody think that it's just the Republicans, no, it's the Democrats. The Democrats have a hard on going after Russia. They really want to go after Russia, okay? And the economy is shut. It says Minks is currently en route to Ukraine with 11 other members of Congress, only 3 of them Republicans. His bill doesn't have a GOP co-sponsor just yet. It is the House version of a bill introduced by Senate Foreign Relations Committee Chair Bob Menendez, Democratic New Jersey, was endorsed by 41 Democrats, secretaries, as well as the White House. The Minks bill would more than double the amount of military aid to Korea from $248 million set from under the Foreign Military Finances FMF program 2020 to 500 million. Only Israel and Egypt currently get more, 3.3 billion and 1.3 billion respectively. And Israel is that welfare state. And what purpose do they have giving Egypt money? Because Egypt's backing up Israel to bring some sort of stability, or what they would consider stability, in the Middle East. So Esau's playing all hands. And this is why when you do the research on military, not only military, but gold, silver, and how it's really supposed to be conducted, all these wars that's being funded right now, they're not supposed to be able to afford these wars. But when you have fiat currency, you could put as much as money that you can put, and you're gonna pay off everything that you need to pay off. All right? Because why? All these bills and so forth is fabricated. Okay? It's all fabricated. And it says, under the Democrats' proposal, if President Joe Biden declares that Russia has engaged in significant escalation in the hostility, it's none of your goddamn business, to disrupt Ukraine's sovereignty, the White House would be able to issue sanctions against President Vladimir Putin personally. Russian financial institution, anyone tied to NORAD, steam to gas pipeline, even Americans wanted to trade in Russian bonds. We had, World War III is about to start, man. Senate Democrat cited that Menendez bill to filibuster the sanction proposed by Ted Cruz earlier this month. However, the Republicans are unlikely to block Menendez's mixed bill, as their own proposal in the House wants to give Ukraine $450 million from FMF, imposing sanctions on Nord Stream 2 right away without waiting for any Russian action. So we're going to war, man. That's the bottom line. We are going to war. Well, not we, but the war bells is ringing. They are inciting. They are making this thing happen. And once you hear people leaving, when ambassadors leave and families of ambassadors leave a country and certain trades are not going in the way it's supposed to go, that's when you know for a guaranteed fact that war is here. Okay? So, hey man, this shows you that America is that. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. I'll make this short and come back to this. As Jeremiah 52. Jeremiah, I'm going to the point. Jeremiah 50 and past it. Slakia. Jeremiah 50. There it is. It's right in my face. 22. A sound of the battle is in the land, a great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? And why did I come to that? Because the hammer of the world, a hammer is, not only can you build things, you can destroy things. And this is what they're planning to do. And they backing it up, the destruction, by they fake finances. All right. So how is the hammer of the earth broken? Because that's a future prophecy. Okay. But it proves the actions of America. And what do? That's why I say I'm gonna make this short, because I just want to get to the point. Isaiah 14 and 5, it says, "The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers, who smote the people with a wrath of a continuing stroke." And that's why they want to fund the bill to the Americans on top of the inflations that they already have. And the majority of the money that Congress, the GOP, passes, it goes straight to the military. Everything else goes to the people. That's what it says in, matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Joel 3 and 9. That's all 9. "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men." That's why, through the Spirit, I saw the video of a man arm wrestling a bear. Not any old man, Edomite in Russia. Yeah, it was a joke and fun, but they got their shirt off. They're showing their masculine ways. And here in America, everybody's goddamn effeminate. Everything is just effeminate. So the Lord is stirring up all these other nations, that warrior type spirit in them. And so you have China, where was it? I forgot the name of the Chinese president, Xing, whatever his name is. Well, he don't want no effeminate association with his people. All right, they completely take that out. But here in America, everything's accepted. Okay, everything's accepted. So they're not stirred up by a mighty spirit. It says, "Wake up the mighty men, let all of the men of war draw near, let them come up." Because all nations at one period of time, they had a mighty empire, and they did not vote for it. They did not petition for their empires to be constructed. They took it by force. All right, they took it by force, and that was a spirit that was laid dormant. Now the Lord is stirring up the pot, so to speak. He's stirring up their spirits to beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. So they use for agriculture to feed the people, the money that needs to be spent to feed their own citizens, they taking that away and putting more into their finances. More into their war machine. So this is not just all these other nations that have nuclear capability. This is talking about all nations gathering their arms up. Okay? For that great war. So they're not going to they don't spend money on the people. The only thing they want from the people they're gonna feed them BS, but all the money that they want is gonna go into their wars, which is the international banking wars. It says, "Let the weak say I'm strong," which is talking about all the other nations that never had that nuclear capability. Because after World War II, you had the obvious people, Russia, the U.S., and Britain were given the keys to nuclear, the atomic science to make the atomic bomb. Then all these other nations started to get them throughout the process of time. That's why they could sit at a table and talk the talks that they talk, because they have the same capability of America. And America is the only nation on earth that dropped any bomb on any other nation that devastating. Okay? So the Lord is stirring up the pot, so to speak. Let me go back to Isaiah 14. I guess I'm going to make this short. 14 and 6 now. He who smote the people in wrath with a continuing stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. So because what's happening now, we've seen why these devils are going to be persecuted in the kingdom of heaven. Because all they do is destroy things. And this is what proves it. It says, the whole earth is at rest, is quiet, they break forth into singing. Yet the fir tree rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us. And that's what it says in Revelations in the 6th chapter. Matter of fact, get that. 6 and 4 says, and then went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. This man is not about peace, man. This man is about war. He take away peace from the earth. He's bringing this ability all over the planet Earth. If somebody has something that's going good, they corrupt it and they topple it. Okay? It says from the earth, and that it should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword, which is like ICBM nuclear missiles. All right? So he has that ability because it's in his power to do it. That's why the scripture says there is no peace unto the wicked. He don't know nothing about peace. All he brings is death. So back at Isaiah 14, it's going to end it off. It says, verse 9, hell from beneath is moved for to meet thee. At thy coming it is stirred up the dead for thee. Even all the chief ones of the nation shall raised up from their throne, all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, the noise of thy vows, and the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down from the ground, which weakeneth the nations? Because they are at the top of power right now. This man claims to have the light, because it's not talking about spiritual demon Satan. It's talking about the king of Babylon, which is these bankers. All right, right now they're at the top of the food chart, so to speak. They're the ones causing all this trouble on the planet Earth. So he's going to be taken down. He's going to be taken down so bad that the nations and everybody's going to look at him in the kingdom of heaven like, this is the same guy. All right, and this is the point. So that, for thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregations in the sides of the north, which is talking about us. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Meaning what? He has a God complex. All right? Esau has a God complex. Meaning he think that he is the Most High. That he could do things. He could make things happen, play both sides, good and evil. He construct his own wars. He narrated all the stories of the wars. Said, yet that shall be brought down to hell in the sides of the pit. They that see thee should narrowly look upon thee and say, consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the world, that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of the prison of his prisoners? All right, and that proves that this man is a war. He's a bloody man. All right, he seeks blood. That's all he cares about, trying to make money off of the blood of people. And he's going to use this the average taxpayer money, to fund his private wars, which is going to be public wars. And all you people out there that love this country, your children are going to be sent out there, and they're going to be slaughtered because they're not coming back. All right, because of all the vested interest that they have into this thing. So that being said, something real quick to the spur of y'all. I'll put the video on it. If I don't, y'all brothers should check it out. A Russian man arm wrestling a bear, showing y'all messing. When America goes to war with Russia, they don't. The average American stands no chance. I repeat, have no chance in hell against their adversary. All right, everything about Russia, from the bear itself, the Kodak bear, which is the biggest and strongest bears, from the eagles that the Russian bear, everything about Russia, all right, USSR, that land is tougher, harder, better than this land. So they have no chance in hell, despite all they're trying to do. So with that being said, shalom to the elected nation. Shalom.
Ну что ж, поехали. Ready, go! Чуть-чуть, Гога, еще немножко. Стоп! Winner! Гога! Wins!
Он тебе пятюню дал, ты видел, парик? Ты видел, он тебе пятюню такой. Такой, давай, пятюню, брат.
Молодец. Ты че? Реально дает.
Молодец, молодец.
Скользнул лапу, но было очень круто. Он прям давил. Прикинь, давил прям.
Готово?
Да.
Давай.